Okay, thank you very much. We have risen out of closed session, and I can report that the committee of the whole met in closed session to discuss personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, regarding staff succession planning and a position plan or procedure criteria or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on by or on behalf of the municipality regarding Georgian College. Direction was provided to staff. Okay, so with that, then we have just a couple of more items to go in this committee of the whole agenda. This being the final committee of the whole of as we close off this 2025 year as county council. The tradition is a closing address from the warden. I know there have been different approaches to this in the past, and I'm not going to apologize for the fact that this is probably the longest address that I've had with you all year, because we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to acknowledge and celebrate of what we've done together in 2025. So ahead of lunch, I will ask you to entertain a few moments to do as we heard earlier from the deputy warden on another topic, that we too little stop and pause and really acknowledge the kind of accomplishments that we do together. So in reflection of 2025, among the decisions, challenges, and celebrations and successes, the commitment to serving the needs of our community residents was loud and clear to me. The list of the accomplishments is long, so I looked for common threads. First, we lean in. When there is a challenge or a need, we step up. Council with staff, we make decisions, we work together to respond with commitment and with action. For example, we have progressed on the Rose Lane project redeveloping and the expanding of affordable housing in the housing site in Dundalk, looking to increase the number of affordable units from just 11 up to 40. We have purchased land in Hanover at the 17th Street Crescent for the future construction of a new early on child and family center. With Grey County short-term emergency housing staff, we celebrated a successful first year of operating the motel program in Owen Sound. More than 375 families and more than 13,000 nights of accommodation were supported, and more than 50 children under 16 years old were supported in that first year of operation. 176 households were transitioned from the motel program into permanent housing. In light of Canada and US relations and tariffs, we looked locally. The county adjusted our purchasing practices to support more Canadian and local procurement. Local economic development efforts included a relaunch of our Made in Grey brand, which expanded to not just uphold and support our agri-food products, but also to anything that was being made in Grey, to help residents identify their local products and to help our entrepreneurs within our county. In the 2025, we held a 2025 regional job fair that was held on, very similar weather circumstance as today on February 20th, because the employers did not want to cancel it. They really wanted that job fair. And when we did that, we had 600 job seekers and dozens of employers making connections. The Gather campaign launch, which is a celebration of our local food and producers, and thanks to the culinary ambassador, Roger Mooking, has spirit and enthusiasm and is catching attention from well beyond our boundaries. The Grey Roots Museum and Archives this past summer attracted high visitation of numbers of members, visitors continuously responding, but we've also been, as staff and as we've made decisions along the way, are also responding to the voices of our First Nations advisors, to the interests of adults, and to the wonders of children, to reflect on the history and the vision of Grey. The numbers of volunteers that we heard from Director Myers today, shared this morning, is phenomenal as well. We are grateful for this example of dedication and love for our county. We received our 2024 paramedic services response time results to hear Grey County met or exceeded response time targets for all classes but we still took action, recognizing the need to enhance response times and to meet increased and projected volumes of calls for service. So we celebrated the grand opening of the Durham Paramedic Services Base. We acquired the land and started building for the new paramedic services base in Feversham. Council received concrete data and results based on our efforts to help residents in need. A report from the Western University shared research completed on why the SOS model in Grey County has been so successful and its impacts across the community, which will only venture further as others try to replicate it. SOS received new funding from Health Canada to expand the operations to 7 days a week, increasing access to harm reduction services for the vulnerable populations and to support hiring more counselors and peer workers. And a new outreach vehicle will provide that mobile drug checking and education. SOS also received further additional funding from Health Canada up until our new year, March 2026, which will be used to pay for 4 social navigators to perform outreach in downtown Owen Sound. We saw the successful 2025 Experimental Acres project enthusiastically embraced by the agricultural community. So enthusiastic that there were 15 applications submitted, and unfortunately just 6 were able to be selected, all aiming at improving soil health, which explores practices that will enhance farming prosperity. Our climate adaptation program received $105,000 in grant funding. And within the county, we engaged a comprehensive work on building a resilient Grey framework that includes actions Grey County can take toward adapting to the current and future impacts of climate change across infrastructure and community. And we also Grey County also took steps towards transferring some roads between the county and some local municipalities. Staff met with the municipalities involved, public engagement opportunities were held. Council approved a funding model for the transfers, which would include approximately 50 kilometers of roads, primarily in urban areas. And I add on this snowy morning that our staff worked exceptionally hard over 2025 to maintain our roads during one of the toughest winters in recent years, with exceptionally high snowfalls and significant weather. We also made progress on the Rockwood Terrace long-term care home, and we're now approaching, at this point, at the close of 2025, we are approaching 50% completed. Grey County's long-term care clinical pathways initiative officially reached the halfway point of its 3-year implementation plan. This is a program developed by the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario to embed best practice guidelines into daily care routines. Secondly, we celebrated the success of not just our programs, but also of our people. Grey County was once again named to the top 21 intelligent communities of the year for the Intelligent Communities Forum. And 6 Grey County paramedics were recipients of the Exemplary Service Medals. These awards received from the Governor General recognize experienced paramedics who consistently perform at an exceptional level. And 6 paramedics were presented with the Medical Director Commendation Awards. The awards recognize the efforts of the paramedics going above and beyond while responding to a difficult and high-stress call. And our Grey County Director of Paramedic Services, Kevin McNabb, was presented with the 2024 King Charles III Coronation Medal. And further, we celebrated that our Director of Long-Term Care, Jennifer Cornell, was appointed as the Board Chair of Advantage Ontario to advocate for nonprofit long-term care homes and their residents, not just here in Grey County, but right across Ontario. Thirdly, we partner with our county neighbours, our own municipalities, and our community partners. Georgian College recognized Grey County with a Community Partner Award in April, and we continue to forge that partnership here in the county and side by side with the college in the regional marine circles. Because as the Marine Center for Training and Research is recognized in the marine field worldwide, it is right here in the heart of our county. Even more so is the impact of this partnership with Georgian College locally. We heard from Director Myers about all of the collaborative efforts. We celebrate the healthcare professionals, trades, power engineering, ECEs that are all able to pursue their educational goals right here locally and stay right here to work. Our county council met jointly with its member municipal councils to consider centralized planning services. And because of that, a report will be presented early in 2026, including recommended memorandums of understanding for the municipalities that are interested in opting into that centralized planning model. We also formed a joint municipal services committee, which formed to look at shared approaches to addressing challenges and opportunities that municipalities face. Grey County has also been participating in a pilot program through the Canadian Alliance to End Homelessness to help individuals with a history of chronic homelessness maintain their housing. This pilot will fund 2 staff positions at the county that will focus on supporting individuals when they move into housing. And Grey County supported the Town of the Blue Mountains in partnership in the administration of the Youth Climate Action Fund program. Funded by Bloomberg Philanthropies, this fund made micro grants available to youth across the region to develop their own climate initiatives. Some of these selected projects include a living snow fence and community gardens at St. Mary's High School in Owen Sound, water and woods restoration, pollinator education, backyard birdhouses, youth-focused earthkeeper, educational materials, and more. All of these were designed and led by the next generation of youth leaders in our communities. And this morning, we heard too from the success of the Youth Climate Action Conference that brings together our youngest residents, in partnership with the organizations and the volunteers, 54 I heard this morning, that all came together to execute and organize that opportunity for our young people. We joined Dufferin and Wellington counties to create consistent standards for developers across borders. We shared proposed future-ready development standards that were created to be voluntarily applied to future developments and with the goal of reducing construction emissions and preparing for upcoming changes to the building code. Grey County partnered with Bruce County and Dufferin County and Saugeen Mobility Transit and secured $9.5 million in funding through the Ontario Transit Investment Fund to develop a regional transit network. The initial phase of study that we've been doing this year and a cost unified regional transit network using and building upon past transit insights and recommendations will guide us in the future decisions that we make about this network. We recognize the efforts of community partners who are meeting the needs of our residents. The county presented OSHARE with a certificate of appreciation for the organization's support of the SOS program. OSHARE has been providing their space in Owen Sound as the site of the Owen Sound SOS market and provides meals for the SOS community outreach markets in Owen Sound and Hanover. In 2024, they provided more than 212,000 meals. And we have further forged our relationships with our First Nations leaders and neighbors to the north and to the south of our county, whether it's chief to warden discussions and meetings or staff to staff or staff working with community members, such as what happens at Grey County, at our Grey Roots in Grey County. We learn from this journey of truth and reconciliation more and more each year as we build this relationship together. So as a council representing the county, I also noted that we raise our hands and we raise our voices. We speak for the small towns and the rural communities within our county by joining in with others to create a louder collective voice that resonates at the provincial and federal level. Around this table here, this horseshoe here, we have representatives at AMO, Roma, OGRA, the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence Cities Initiative, the Clean Energy Frontier, the Medical Isotopes Collective, SWIFT, and the Western Ontario Wardens Caucus. And furthermore, our staff are involved in the regional networks and initiatives. like Director Savannah Myers and her team promoting Grey County as a member of greater regional partnerships. We share our best practices, we learn from each other, we respond to the needs by forging relationships beyond our county boundary. And we all recognize that around this horseshoe, the work we do is impossible without the dedication and hard work of the staff who help us turn the decisions and directions that we make here into real results. That is behind every success that we celebrate here today. So to conclude, 2025 has presented us with both challenges and successes. We lean in when there is a challenge. We respond to needs. We deliver services to enhance the lives of our residents. We share in the stewardship of our lands and our waters. We weigh in carefully in our fiscal decisions. I am uplifted by this past year, by the commitment and the heart of each and every one of you that is sitting here today, and by the dedicated efforts of all the staff who help make a difference in people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Warden Matrosovs. And in a moment, if I could ask you to join Past Warden Eccles at the lectern for the presentation of the Warden's Pin.
I've been offered the privilege today of presenting in the tradition of all individuals who have served as warden of Grey County, the honor of a pin that now recognizes Warden Matrosov. For your work this year, you've become a past warden. Not officially until I believe next Tuesday, but very unofficially. This pin is worn by a select few in Grey County. A number of pictures that are on the wall at the back would indicate about a number of about 120 individuals since the incorporation of Grey County have been offered these pins. And I ask you, and I know you will, wear it proudly. Congratulations, Warden Matrosov. Yeah. Let's stop underneath you. And if I could I move that the warden's address be incorporated into the minutes for eternity? Yeah, maybe. I'll let you make but I'll move that they be incorporated into the minutes. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. And thank you. I've heard it moved and I see Councillor Dobreen is seconding the motion. Thank you. Any discussion? Councillor Gregg?
I would just like to add what was missing there was how diligently you worked over the last year representing the county from the east to the west to the north to the south boundaries, and you enjoyed every moment of interacting with residents across the county, and it was obvious in the smile and in the attitude and in the energy which you demonstrated right from the start of your year to when you finished it. So well done, and best wishes moving forward yet as you seek it again. And you've done a great job representing with so much enthusiasm the first year.
Thank you. So with that, may I call the vote? All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. We are on to the close of our committee of the whole agenda. Notices of motion. Are there any notices of motion? Councillor Gray.
I move that at the county council meeting of December 11th, county council consider adding evaluating countywide library services to the Joint Municipal Services Committee.
Okay, thank you. Any other notices of motion? Not seeing any online, not seeing any here in the room. With that, I will look for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Eccles, seconded by Councillor Carlton. Any discussion? All those in favor? And committee of the whole is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.